Welcome in to another video in my series where we're going through all the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see just how viable they are for your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. This is going to include the MW2 weapons, aftermarket parts, and conversion kits. Now today, I want to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so very much for the insane support. I really do appreciate that. If you guys are new around here, I do upload Call of Duty Zombies videos, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out any future uploads from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Now today's video comes from my last video, the review for the Kastov 762. Today's video we're going to be looking at the Kastov 545, taking it through all three zones, looking at bounties all the way through to see just how viable this weapon is for you inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. Now this weapon today is another one where I love it from you guys. It's down in the comment suggestions. There was quite a discussion amongst you all on this weapon. So today let's have a look at the Kastov 545 review and take it through all three tiers inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Let's get to the video. Alright, welcome in, and we're dropping in to check out the Kastov 545 from MW2 to see how viable this weapon is going to be inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. Now I do have a couple extras that I brought in with me today. I have my golden armor plates and we have mags of holding to test for later, so stick through the video to find out how the weapon performs with mags of holding. Now like we do when we spawn in through all the weapon testing videos, the only thing I put on before we go and take our first bounty of the day is just going to be my perks. So I'm not going to be putting on any tools to increase the damage to the weapon. I'm not going to put any ammo mods to increase the damage to the weapon, and I'm not going to pack-a-punch the Kastov 545 to add any damage to it at all. The only thing that I have added that might be, of interest to note is that I do run Deadshot Daiquiri, so there's a little bit of critical damage that comes with that perk. So that's about it. We grabbed our first bounty of the day, and let's get started. We had a Mangler was our first challenge of the day, and the Kastov 545 felt really strong. I don't know if my aim was off today or if I just need your guys' help down in the comment section to come up with a little bit better build that has a little bit less recoil and is more of a laser beam. But when I was able to hit the critical shots, I could certainly see the damage was there for the Kastov 545. It definitely felt like something that was going to be viable to use. Not only that, it is definitely an enjoyable weapon to run around and use. Like, I really did enjoy using this run. This run, I felt like I was having a good time with it, so that's definitely something that's awesome. I mean, you want to be having fun when you're playing the game, so if you're using a weapon and it certainly doesn't feel like it's enjoyable to use, then that's definitely not a win, right? Regardless of how strong it is. But the Mangler here, when you see the critical shots, was definitely able to take him down fairly quick for a tier 1 bounty contract at white rarity with no damage additions to the weapon for sure. So I was pretty impressed right here. I did want to see just how consistent the damage was with this, as I wasn't sure if it was my aim that was off or if this weapon was just being inconsistent with the damage delivered. So we went to Pack-a-Punch. We meleeed it to keep the event camo on there for the veterans, which I think is absolutely awesome because it's animated and I love animated camos. So we marked our second bounty of the day inside of tier 1. This time we're pack 1, still white rarity. We have no ammo mods and nothing else to the weapon to increase this damage other than pack 1. And we got another we got a mimic, inside of tier 1, and I just stood here and deleted the mimic. Like, I didn't even move at all. So I would say this is definitely something that you guys can run inside of tier 1 if you just want to bring it in and pack-a-punch it and grind out stuff in tier 1. You certainly can do that. We got a schematic in there, which I did pull out of the reward rift. Unfortunately, I have had the worst luck recently trying to hand out free schematics to people, as everybody seems to have them all. So yeah, we're gonna have to find some other way to help people out. Maybe I can start buying some jug suits and handing those out at the end of the match to people. I'm not sure, but definitely having a struggle giving out the free schematics for sure. So we picked up our second bounty inside of tier 1, and this time we put on legendary and napalm burst. So we're pack 1 legendary with napalm burst. Now my mimic that was in the window there, I saw him with death perception, and I think I took off just over half his health. So when he came around the corner here, he just got instantly evaporated by the Kastov 545. So it's definitely something that's strong for sure inside of tier 1. I mean, I'm pack-a-punched and legendary, so I would expect things to be super quick inside of tier 1. So next thing to do is head into tier 2, grab ourselves a bounty contract, but I'm not pack-a-punching. I'm not going to increase the damage at all. So we're now inside of tier 2. We are pack 1 legendary with napalm burst on the Kastov 545, and we got a mimic bounty contract inside of tier 1. And you can see the critical damage when I was hitting the mimic in the critical spots was definitely doing some work for sure. Like, I felt really confident running this weapon at pack 1 inside of tier 2. I certainly wasn't concerned about the zombies. As you can see, they just kind of insta getting deleted, and the bounty contract itself, I definitely felt like I was doing damage, and definitely some strong damage to it for sure inside of tier 2, considering I'm only pack 1 on the weapon. So definitely something that you guys can use inside of tier 2. Another schematic, but again, like I said, unfortunately I wasn't able to hand these out to anybody today, which is kind of a bummer, but what can you do? So next thing to do is to head off and grab another bounty contract inside of tier 2. And again, I'm still pack 1 legendary with napalm, because I wanted to see just if this weapon was being inconsistent with that one, with the mimic. And definitely when you get up close and personal with the Kastov 545, you can see the critical damage is definitely there. We were certainly able to just absolutely dismantle that mangler, no problem. So the next thing to do is to head off to Pack-a-Punch 2 and take in the Kastov 545, get that Pack-a-Punch to level 2 so that we can go grab another bounty and see how it handles, you know, a tier 2 bounty. But this time we're pack 2, and what a difference. Holy smokes. I literally just stood there and shot at the mimic. Like, I didn't move. Aside from him grabbing me and throwing me, I didn't move. Very impressed, very impressed. Pack 2 legendary with napalm inside of tier 2. This feels very close to overpowered inside of tier 2 at this setup for sure. Definitely handling zombies inside of tier 2, not a problem at all. They pretty much instant die, which is awesome to see for sure, because I love having lots of different weapons to use inside of MW3 Zombies. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Let me know down below if you prefer running, you know, one weapon for the lifeline of a game, or if you like to switch it up all the time. I love to run different weapons, so that was definitely a success. Next thing to do is to go on and put on the Pack-a-Punch 3 crystal I brought into the match, and head ourselves off into tier 3 to grab the rest of our perks, and then find out what we have in store for tier 3 and what the Kastov 545 assault rifle from MW2 can do inside of tier 3. We're triple packed now, legendary, we got napalm, we have all of our perks, and it was time to grab a bounty contract inside of tier 3 and see just how the Kastov 545 handles it inside of tier 3 with the beefed up damage on the bounty contracts. And I wanted to see just if this is going to be a viable option to run inside of tier 3 for all of us to use inside of our games or not. So we got a mangler, and I brought him to this cheese spot here because I was curious to see the mega abominations won't come down the path. But yep, the manglers will definitely come at you for sure. So I had to skedaddle out of there really quickly before I got cornered and down by the mangler. But you can see the critical damage from the Kastov 545 triple pack legendary with napalm inside of tier 3 dealing with the bounty contract is definitely something that you guys can do. It's definitely something that's going to be a viable option for you guys inside of tier 3, although I'm not sure if you'd want to run this inside of tier 3 triple packed with your ammo mod of your choice. Anything lower than epic is honestly how I feel about that. Now, how does this Kastov 545 handle crowd control inside of tier 3 when you have everything coming at you? The dogs, your armored zombies, sprinters, absolutely everything, just fine. You can see the carnage there. And next to do is to throw on mags of holding. And how does it handle crowd control inside of tier 3 with mags of holding? Now that we don't have to reload, we can just stand here and dish out the damage, and holy smokes. I mean, look at the carnage. I really don't have to describe it for you all. You can see it right there on screen, just how well it handles crowd control with mags of holding for sure. So the last thing to do is to go off and visit George, our good friend, the guardian of the arches, and he was here today. And I tell you, George was eager to fight today for sure. He was being a little stubborn though. I was trying to bring him over here to our cheese spot by the wooden trellis, and he was very slow. He was like a casual Sunday stroll. And then when I got up to the top of our cheese spot, George was like, yeah, I've been there before, and that ain't happening again, my man. I'm sorry, I'm just going to chill right here, because I know what you're about to do if I come over that wall. And I was not impressed. George, you need to listen. You have to come over here. So what did I do? I forced George into our area. He had to come over and get into his proper position and be a good boy and get into the cheese spot. Mimic had other choices. I was not impressed with the Mimic at all. I was like, what are you doing? I am busy trying to climb the stairs. This is not the time to be grabbing me and giving me hugs. I know you're happy to see me, but I'm busy, currently busy. So how does it handle HVTs inside of tier 3? Not a problem, definitely. HVTs just get melted right there by the Kastov 545 inside of tier 3, and you can see all of the riffraff that was coming up the stairs, the horde coming at me. The Kastov 545 is definitely going to be able to handle, you know, everything pretty much that tier 3 has coming at you. Now, where would I rank this as one of the top weapons in the game? You know, super OP. It's not going to be on that tier. Maybe the tier below, if not one down. It's definitely very strong. It's definitely something that's viable for you to use inside of tier 3. Although I do feel there are other weapons that are just a lot stronger to use inside of tier 3 currently. So, but that's my personal opinion. I know some of you guys really enjoy and really stand by the weapons that you use inside of your games. And if you've got a weapon and you've found out that it works for you and you're able to absolutely slay with it, then power to you. I'm all for that. That's absolutely amazing. You know, my experience with weapons may differ from yours in game. So with that being said, I definitely feel like this Kastov 545 is something that you guys can use inside of tier 3 for sure. We were able to finish off George, the Guardian of the Arches right there, and he dropped us the Pack 1 Crystal, which I really wasn't that interested in, and the Epic Tool, which I grabbed to stow and bring in for my next run. So that was pretty awesome to see, but overall, I definitely think this is a viable weapon for you guys. We managed to get out of the match, push our exfil up on our new operator to almost 100, which is absolutely awesome to see. And down below in the comment section, let's work together and see if we come up with any changes needed to make this Kastov 545 build even better for us all to have an amazing weapon to use inside of our Modern Warfare 3 games. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one.